What's up, everybody? This week I'm joined by Gregory as we go over a movie that's 2 parts comedy, 1 part tragedy, and it's solidified a Hollywood star. 1997's Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. That and a whole lot more is to come on this week's episode of the 90s podcast. Welcome to the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the 90s podcast right here on the Because Network. Hope you're doing well today on this fine Sunday afternoon. And I'm joined by Gregory. Greg, how are you, man?
Hey, man, what's up? I'm fantastic, dude. I'm very excited about today's film.
Yes, we are going to be going over one of the greatest movies of the 90s. And I'm not saying that lightly. It's actually a really, really funny, good movie. And it's one of the best comedies of the 90s, I should say. Maybe not one of the best films, but definitely one of the best comedies of the 90s. We're talking about 1997's Liar Liar. But before we go into Liar Liar, what do you think initially of the movie, real quick, before we dive in deep and, you know,
I mean, it was a really good movie. It had a lot of really excellent components to it. I mean, it's known as a comedy, but it also has heartfelt moments. It has some light action, so it's a fairly versatile movie. It stood tall in a very crowded room during the era that it came out. 97, we were really turning the corner on production and CGI and stuff like that. And that was a movie where it was actor driven, script driven. It wasn't Jurassic Park where they had, dinosaurs and all this stuff like that. So yeah, they were able to do a whole lot with it. It reached a really broad audience despite having some slightly racy themes to it.
Yes.
And this, there's connections to it from people that whose dads work a lot, or people that don't have dads. There's a lot of meaning and symbolism to it. So yeah, it's a fantastic movie. I'll call it one of my desert island movies. I put it right there in the list. Like I mentioned before in one of the other shows. It's there's scenes I laugh at every single time. Like, no matter how many times I've heard them, I always laugh at them. So to me, that's a joy. It's a beautiful thing to have in your life.
Do you know why I pulled you over? Depends how long you were following me.
And like, it just he takes a deep breath because he knows it's going to be a long list, and then he literally just spits out. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, this movie, I think it would have failed had it been any other lead.
Yeah, I think
it would have been boring, humdrum. I mean, Jim Carrey really pushed it over the edge, like he does. We talked about that, and he's so over the top. Like, he drove the movie.
I think if this had come out 2 years earlier, one of the other people who was suggested for the main role could have pulled it off. If it was just a couple of years earlier, he could have pulled it off. But at that time, 2 years later, he's not as interesting anymore. He's I don't want to say passé, but I mean, he didn't do much after 94 movie wise, because his big time was in the 80s and early 90s. But we'll go to that here in a minute. So for all the movie buffs out there, this is comedy drama as it's also been given, because it does have some heartfelt moments in there. You mentioned
tons of them. Yeah, I mean, the scenes with the son. There's scenes where he's happy, and this and there's other scenes where he's downtrodden, where he's wishful. So yeah, there's like a full range of emotions that you kind of go through.
This is one of those typical Jim Carrey movies that's not a typical Jim Carrey movie at the same time.
He put his own stank on it.
Yes.
Hit me again. I can put some stank on it. Yeah. So he really signed his name all over this one. I mean, that's kind of what he does.
Yes.
He permeates throughout the entire cast. He did the same thing in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
He even did the exact same thing in Truman Show. Some people call that a one-man movie.
Yeah, Truman Show. I've got to do a full episode on the Truman Show. I did a brief one a few years ago, just kind of ripping on the guy who was the producer of the show.
Sure.
I spent literally 20 minutes ripping on him, and I think I'd need to do a full in-depth thing of the Truman Show, proper review, not just me rambling for 20 minutes about why it's a bad thing that this thing happened.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey's at this point, man, he's a bona fide legend. Like
Yes.
he's got his hands in so many legendary blockbusting projects. It's mind-boggling. He's like the Buckethead of starring movie roles. Like he's 600 of them or whatever.
And I'll actually love his serious work too, though, because his serious
Yeah,
work
absolutely.
he's like the reverse Leslie Nielsen.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Nielsen became a comedy icon after spending years and years playing the straight actor, while
Yeah.
Jim Carrey was the rubber-faced, I don't say buffoon, but he was, he was a clown basically.
The jester, yeah.
Yes, and he became a very, very well-respected actor. One of my favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Absolutely.
His acting in that is absolutely fantastic.
Such a esoteric and edgy film.
Yes.
Very, very, I guess meta is the term they would use now, but
Yeah.
yeah, very thought-provoking. And there's another one that came out recently, like where they enter the fifth dimension. That was another one where it was really, can't remember the name of it, but Interstellar. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so it's just cool when they can make stuff like come to life. Like they can show 5D on a 2D screen in a 1D universe.
Yes,
that's pretty incredible. I mean, yeah. So anyway,
but this was written by Paul Gray and Stephen Mazua. Hopefully, I've said that right. And directed by Tom Shadyac. Tom Shadyac done a lot of Jim Carrey movies, and is of course personal friend of the man. So that's how he got the gig. And I'm not making that up. That we'll get to that here in a minute. It was produced by Brian Grazer, production company from Imagine Entertainment, distributed by Universal. It was released on the 21st of March, 1997, to a box office of $302 million.
I like how you refuse to read stuff in the American order for the date. You're just like, nah, we're gonna do the date first because that's the one that's changing all the time. It makes perfect sense. I don't understand it. I always wondered that. It's like it's gonna be the same month, like 28 to 31 times in a row. The date's changing every day. Like, love it. Okay, yeah. So, it's a good profit margin. I'm a little surprised on the critical rating. Honestly, I assumed it would be 80 or better.
Yeah, this one hit low on the Jonometer, but it's not too low. I mean, 76 is not bad. Is in good territory,
No,
but that was dropped by a big Rotten Tomatoes score. Because Rotten Tomatoes, look, I love Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's a good resource. Like IMDb, it's a good resource and everything like that. But they tend to have filmies doing one of the scores on Rotten Tomatoes, And so this isn't classic cinema, This is just a goofy film, And I mean, some of the ratings on these things, right? The first Pokemon movie, for example, right, got like 25% across the board. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a Pokemon movie. It's not The Godfather.
Yeah.
If you watch the anime, and believe me, I had to watch the anime because my brothers were that thing. You knew what you were getting into. It's a kids movie. It's not Donnie Darko.
The juxtaposition between Pikachu and Squirtle was unpalatable.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So
make him an offer you can't refuse and have Bulbasaur's head at the end of the bed. I mean, it's
it's a message for Pikachu.
For Ash.
Yeah. I don't know much about Pokemon, so I'm working with what limited knowledge I have.
Oh.
But yeah, no, yeah, man, wild. I wonder if Paul Gray got ever tortured in school because kids were
cruel.
Brutal. Yeah, but yeah, not familiar with much of those names, but I mean Universal Pictures is a big one.
Yeah,
and star-studded cast. I mean, good cast. A surprise person that I saw the other day that we'll get into probably at some point. So yeah, man.
So we've got Paul Gray, right? He had the idea for Liar Liar by writing down a thought on a napkin. Which, as all good ideas start, they all start somewhere where you haven't got anything proper to write on. You've got to write it on something.
Shower principle. Yeah.
Yep. The concept was, what if someone known for lying was compelled to tell the truth for an entire day?
So go for a lawyer. I mean, that's the perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's there's a duality there because I mean you're defending someone, but sometimes
You have to bend the
what you can do
truth.
is, yeah, it's construed as lying essentially. Sometimes lying is omission as well, which
Yes.
lawyers will do. They'll omit things. They choose their words very carefully. So yeah, that's brilliant to use that as the vessel to get that come to life.
Well, one guy went to his writing partner, Stephen Mazua, and pitched the idea in the early 90s. It was met with a lot of resistance because studios were not only uninterested, but they warned the pitching such a concept could harm their careers. I think this is a great idea, to be honest. What if everybody was forced to tell the truth for an entire day?
Society would collapse
Oh,
probably.
definitely.
I mean,
But I mean, it'd be fun.
there would be lots of discovery, sure,
It'd be
and I would be very inquisitive.
I'd be very inquisitive to any politician I could get my hands on.
Yeah, I
Just
was.
tell the truth.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sorry, I'm coming to today. Today is the day we're recording. Is the day that King Charles pulled all of Prince Andrew's titles and honors and
His
name.
credentials are
Yeah,
gone.
he's
Yeah.
just gonna be Andrew from here on out.
Andrew from the files,
Yes, Andrew
allegedly.
from the Fight. Oh, I'm gonna risk a lawsuit. I'm not gonna say allegedly. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say allegedly because I can't.
And we
I can't afford a lawsuit.
We can edit too. Or you can push them to shove. So anyway,
But
yeah,
years later, during a meeting with Imagine Entertainment, they mentioned their idea to executive David Friendly.
what a nice guy.
He is very nice guy. Coincidentally, producer Brian Grazer was seeking a project centered around a lawyer. This moment led to the project's revival. So yeah, they said, well, we've got a project with a lawyer that needs a concept. You have a concept and need something. Let's put them together and see what we can get.
Key meet lock.
Yes.
Kind of like in Robin Hood Men in Tights, man.
Yeah, but
Key meet lock. They helped each other. Yeah.
Yes, but they needed a locksmith, just like Robin Hood needed.
I'm a locksmith. I'm a locksmith.
Yeah. that is my favorite yet stupidest line in anything.
It's perfect.
For those who don't know, there was a show called Police Squad, which is where the Naked Gun movies spun off from, the original Naked Gun movies. And Leslie Nielsen's character shows up in an office, and the dude looks up and says, "Who are you, and how did you get in here?" He says, "I'm a locksmith, and I'm the locksmith." And it's just so stupid.
So good. Yeah.
I love
like him. There's a few people that can just take something that simple and really sell it and deliver it. Robin Williams, him,
Yes.
and a few other voice actors. Billy West, maybe.
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah, but it's really it's a thing of beauty when you can do so much with so little.
Yes. So initially, the protagonist's profession was varied in drafts. He was a real estate agent, a boxing promoter. I don't think the boxing promoter angle would work on a PG movie. They proved that with The Great White Hype a few years later. That to be a boxing promoter, you have to be super sleazy and with very limited redeeming qualities. And that's what they needed with this character. They needed a redeeming quality because yes, lawyers can be sleazy, can be liars, can be over the top, but you take them away from the law, and you've got to see a good side of them. And they wrote enough of good in Fletcher Reed to make you be able to, cheer him on, to make him a good hero.
Yeah, he had redeeming qualities for sure. It's just he was so embroiled with this work that he was losing vision of
Everything else.
his. Yeah, I mean, his marriage fell apart. He was, on the verge of becoming estranged from his child, and near the end, it almost came to complete fruition. So yeah, things were deteriorating because he was putting so much stock into work, and that's a good lesson right there too. I mean, work is important. We got to thrive. We got to survive. We got to take care of business, but you still got to make time for family. And there were multiple occasions where he could have gone to see his son, and he chose to get his groove on or be in the paper, or he was too career centered. He skipped the wrestling match, so yeah, that was his problem. He was a bit of a workaholic, too career driven.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the role of Fletcher Reed was originally envisioned for Tom Hanks or Steve Martin.
Wow.
Now, like I said, Tom Hanks, I don't know if he could have pulled that off at all. Whereas if this was made a few years earlier, I think Steve Martin could have pulled it off.
Yeah. I mean, 93, 94. Because he was, I don't know. I guess he would have been an okay age. I guess that role didn't demand him to be like,
Yeah.
mid-30s, kind of in his prime guy. But yeah, I guess you're right. I think that could work.
Yeah, and I mean, he was coming off like the Father of the Bride stuff and everything like that. So he could pull the exasperation out. We saw that he could pull the comedy out. He could pull the drama out where it was needed and everything like that.
Yeah,
But
he's versatile.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he is hilarious as well. I mean, Steve Martin is a funny dude. You know,
Yeah.
so he's a comedian's comedian, basically.
Yeah,
So
he's just classic comedy guy for sure. Him and like Chevy Chase and the Belushis and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah.
it's classic. Yeah.
So Hugh Grant was actually interested in the role, but had to withdrew, excuse me, after the Divine Brown scandal. Oops.
Yeah, yeah.
That could have made his career right there.
Man, when I read that, I was like, geez, I wonder how many millions and millions of dollars that he missed out on because of that. Because, man, he was entering like Keanu Reeves
Yeah,
territory.
he was
Like he was bagging A movies and dating the hottest girls in Hollywood. Like,
he was on
geez,
fire,
dude. Yeah, I
and
mean, he was big.
he
Yeah.
blew it all away. Uh,
Mm. Such a
sorry,
shame, man. Such a shame.
sorry, I had to go there. Didn't have to, but what happened?
I get it now. Sorry, it's late.
But what actually happened was they reached out to Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey was supposed to do the Truman Show, but they were delayed in filming and getting the script ready and everything like that. So he's committed to the Truman Show, but he's tired of waiting, so he took on Liar Liar instead. And Truman Show did come out in 1997. As we've mentioned before, I've done an episode of the podcast on Truman Show that I really, really need to update because it was just me ranting for 20 minutes about Christoph.
Yeah.
But he accepted the role. His demands were basically $20 million and that Tom Shadyac direct the film. And they said,
Wow.
okay, $20 million and your director? That's peanuts for us. So...
Yeah.
But they also offered the role, believe it or not, to Mike Myers.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers is a character actor, right?
Yeah.
Every big thing that he's done has been a character.
Wayne Campbell type.
Yeah. He did. He turned this down to do Austin Powers. Austin Powers, big character.
Yeah.
Shrek.
Oh, he did
character.
half that movie himself. So yeah. I mean, yeah. It's tons of screen time. He probably had franchise rights and other things going for there and sequel potential.
But the movies he did where he was Mike Myers playing a person, not a over-the-top character, they weren't as good.
No, So I Married an Axe Murderer is the perfect example of that one.
I love that movie, but it wasn't.
A good movie.
It's good. It's not great though. It's not Wayne's World great. It's not Shrek great.
Nah,
it's a
it's
fun
forgettable.
movie.
It's forgettable. Like only really movie buffs and people that were around when it came out really remember it.
Yeah,
Truthfully,
I think we did an episode on it. I'm not sure. We might have done an episode. If we didn't do an episode on it, we need to because that's one of my favorite movies.
we talked about it you and I talked about it in one of them.
Wayne's World episode, I think.
Yeah, when we did Wayne's World, that was way back in season 1. That was like this. I think that was the first time I ever did a podcast. Actually,
Jeez, it was my third. So
yeah, we learned a lot since then. Definitely.
So Cary Elwes landed the role of Jerry by chance after he's had a conversation with Cary and Shadyac without even realize they were pitching a movie to him, which is a lot better than him turning down Mel Brooks a few times before somebody said, "Oh, Mel Brooks is trying to call you."
Hey, mate. Yeah, he's really trying to call you. Yeah.
But Cary described the role as physically taxing and involving constant suppression of angst and frequent improvisation leading to exhaustion. So he did put it out there. He did put his thing on the line. And I think he wanted to go for more serious roles around about that time because I think the last movie that he did was the Batman movie. And he had to be really, really over the top in that one too. Whereas this movie, he's over the top, but it does seem a little reluctance, It does seem he's trying to break out of that over the top, rubber face kind of, I think that's where the Cable Guy came from. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That was interesting to see him slip into a kind of a character actor situation on that one, but he
Yeah.
pulled it off awesomely.
So
That's another one that one fell kind of under the radar. I think that one, I don't not it didn't flop, but it wasn't like a blockbuster. Like it wasn't a
no,
huge one.
it's like that
Yeah.
Robin Williams movie. Which one was it? 1 Hour Photo.
Oh yeah.
You know, it proved that a comedy actor who's beloved by people can play a villain. You know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it comes down to timing, and drama and comedy are really, really close in that regard. So it makes sense that guys like Nielsen and Carey were able, with their already being brilliant at one side, were able to easily morph over to the other. So yeah. Carey Elwes, man, that was a perfect cast on that too, for the potential stepdad. He plays it perfectly, and he's so dorky, but he's trying so hard. He's such a nice guy and a lovable guy, but it's just not. He feels out of place the whole time. I guess
he does. And I mean, you know, he wasn't the only guy in there. You had Maura Tierney, who was Audrey Reed. You had Jennifer Tilly as Samantha Colt. Jennifer Tilly does not get enough credit where credit is due. In my opinion.
she's really good in this, and her outfits are like absolutely insane. Just the gold thing that she has, and she's all busting out of it and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's very.
That's what they knew what they were doing with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, Jennifer Tilly is known for that. So I mean, and considering the circumstances of the trial, you know, it was apropos.
I'm trying to see who else was in here. Let's see. You had there really wasn't anybody else, you know, name wise. Jason Bernard as Judge Marshall Stevens. That's fair enough. And Mitchell Ryan as Mr. Allen.
Yeah, that one popped up when I rewatched it. I was like, oh wow, that's Will Riker's dad from Star Trek: The Next Generation. He was in like 2 episodes, I think. Very minor role. Sherry O'Terry's notable too, down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise, yeah, I mean, these are
and
not huge names, really.
Not huge names. Maybe you could, you know, Anne Haney, who played Greta, the assistant. Okay. She's a bigger name than we're giving her credit for.
She's a B actor, kind of. So she's in a lot of roles, but she's one of those people you see them and you know, but you don't know what their name is. Kind of like Margot Martindale. I've mentioned that before.
Her death was responsible for the largest genocide in Star Trek history.
Yeah.
Yeah, she played a colonist on a planet that was wiped out.
I remember that.
And it turned out that her husband was an alien with such enormous power that he just snapped his fingers and wiped the whole race of people who wiped the planet out of existence.
And she wasn't even real. She was actually like a projection or a hologram or something.
Yeah.
It was like this whole thing.
He created her down to the minutest detail so that he could spend the rest of existence with her. And like Picard is like, yeah, we have no law for what you've done. Tell you what, why don't you go back down to the planet? There's a good boy. And then he's on the phone to Starfleet going, stay away from this planet. Stay away. This is what happened. If we try and bring him in, that's the end of everything. Just leave him be.
Yeah. I mean, they couldn't help but stop by when they saw that the entire planet was torched except for 1 acre.
Yes.
With a pristine house on it. Like, come on, man. I mean, why wouldn't you clean that up? If you could, you know, why not just go, boom, tropical paradise, perfect weather, done. I don't know, but anyway, so.
But yeah, that's where I remember her from. She's also in Mrs. Doubtfire, bringing back Robin Williams' connection.
Oh yeah,
she was the social worker.
Yes, when she was like rubbing the cake on her face. Yes. Oh yeah, I know. I've seen her in tons of stuff. I just never like put a name to it. So that's you're probably right there.
She's the female Bob Gunton.
Okay.
And if you know who he is, he's the guy from Demolition Man, the police chief of Demolition Man. He's the warden in the Shawshank Redemption. He also was in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was blowing up Cardassian ships just because he had really bad PTSD.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like, he walks in Picard's room. He goes, "Smells like a bureaucrat's office in here."
Dang.
It's like, oh. You go take off Patrick Stewart, man. That's
brave. Yeah, man.
So we're going to go into the plot. We've got 2.5 pages of plot. This was pulled from IMDb and a couple of other sources. So We're just going to go ahead and plow through this as quick as we can and stop and, talk about it whenever we can. So Fletcher Reed is a fast-talking, ambitious defense attorney based out of Los Angeles. He's built his career on manipulation and bending the truth, often at the expense of ethics and or integrity. Known for winning difficult cases through clever legal maneuvering, Fletcher is also infamous for lying to everyone in his life, especially his son Max.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it starts. The kids are in the classroom describing what their parents do, and he goes, "My mom is a college professor, and my dad's a liar."
Yeah. It's funny because it's an illusion, it's foreshadowing, but it's also kind of a Freudian slip. It's kind of like all these things put into one. And what you have here basically is your classic setup, kind of like Groundhog Day. You're getting this baseline, like a litmus test, like what is this guy normally like, So
Fletcher is divorced from his wife Audrey, who has grown tired of his broken promises and unreliability, especially as it affects Max. Audrey has been in a steady relationship with Jerry, a kind but somewhat dull man who adores Max and is seriously considering marrying Audrey and moving her and Max to Boston, where he's been offered a brand new job. So that, that's a tough one, because it's obvious that there's still a relationship there between the child and the father, right?
Yeah, they're really good with each other, and they have a good connection, definitely.
So at the start of our story, Fletcher wins another court case by using deceptive tactics and celebrates with his co-workers. That day, he's supposed to pick up Max for some quality time, but he sends Audrey a message he's tied up at work. Audrey covers for him and takes Max instead. Fletcher later shows up at his home with a lame excuse, a hurried gift, and promising to be at Max's birthday party the next day. So it doesn't talk about the fact that what happened was he was supposed to pick him up to go to the wrestling that was in town that night, the day before his birthday. And then he got caught up with work. Now, the wrestling fan of me, when I watched this at 13, it's like, man, that sounds like I'd want to go see that. Rick Rude and Randy Savage, yeah. And then I realized one had retired by the time this movie came out. And the other one wasn't doing anything other than TV shows, and this movie takes place like on a Tuesday or something like that,
Yeah.
So it's like, no.
Yeah, that undercard is probably
realism.
Better.
Realism.
Yeah, exactly.
Max, who is used to his father's unreliability, is still hopeful that this time will be different. Fletcher swears he will be there on his birthday, but the next day he gets caught up again at work. He's working on a high-profile case involving Samantha Cole, a gold-digging woman attempting to defraud her wealthy husband in a divorce. Samantha signed a prenup agreement that limits her entitlement to his assets, but it's Fletcher's job to find a way around it. So
he kind of lights a fire under her because when they first meet, she's one of the main things she says is that she wants to be fair and with the kids because her husband is really good with the kids.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to take him away from him. And, he's a great dad. And he kind of eggs her on to be aggressive.
Yeah.
To kind of follow his course of action to get as much money as possible. And by the end, she is full tilt, like screaming, standing up with clenched fists. Like, embracing him, groping him. Yeah, he really, really, really pumped her up.
Yes, he did. And Fletcher's boss, Mr. Allen, promises Fletcher that if he wins the case, he'll be a partner of the law firm, something that Fletcher has long since desired. In his enthusiasm, Fletcher allows himself to get absorbed in preparing the case and completely forgets to attend Max's birthday party because, his boss basically said, "You did a good job. Let's take this to the bedroom."
Yeah,
and he does. And that scene is funny as well.
Very aggressive about it too. Yeah. I thought it helped my career by making her squeal.
That is one of the greatest quotes in comedy movie history.
So good. There's so many of them in here. You forget them because there's so many of them, and one will just randomly pop up, and you're like, "Oh, dude, that's so good." No, because I believe you'll buy booze with it. Just stuff like that. Anyway.
So as Max blows out his birthday candles, upset and disillusioned, he wishes that for just one day his father would not be able to tell a lie. A mysterious force grants this wish. So,
Yeah, they kind of went down the
sci-fi.
path. They went down the path that Groundhog Day was gonna go down in a way. because it was going to be like a hex. I don't know why I keep Groundhog Day, another desert island movie, but like
Yes.
it's the same kind of idea. Like they don't not so much in the way they did that instead of the other thing, instead, like, but they still left it up to speculation.
Yes.
They weren't like, oh, the witch from the Wishland has come to grant. That would have seriously discredited it and made it feel kind of cheesy and hokey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the next morning, well, actually, that later on that evening, he turns over. They turn over. It's like, how was it for you? I've had better. And then he focuses the rest of his night on the "I've had better" line. It's like, he's like, why did I say that? And then he just laughs it off. He just thinks, oh well, slip of the tongue. It happens. I've had better.
Yeah.
Oh well, let's go to work, right? And as he begins his day, he finds himself blurting out inappropriate or brutally honest thoughts that he would normally keep to himself. He's confused by his inability to lie, even the most trivial things. He attempts to lie, but he physically can't. His mouth contort, his words slur, and he basically experiences physical discomfort as he's trying to tell a lie. So, as he's going down in the elevator in his building, he meets another lady who is, shall we say, endowed. And she's like,
cue the saxophones.
Yeah. Hey, everybody's being real nice to me. That's because you have big jugs. He's like, wait, what?
Just trying to backpedal, and he just keeps digging himself deeper into the hole.
And he gets punched in the face.
Yeah, when
deservedly so.
Yeah, he escalates it to basically like a sophomoric gesture, and they don't show it, but he gets clocked, and she's very, very annoyed by his honesty.
Yes. But at first, Fletcher thinks he's just having a bad day, but when he arrives at work and keeps revealing painful truth to colleagues, he starts to panic. Things become worse when he's called into the boardroom with Mr. Allen and other partners. When asked his opinion of the firm and the people in the room, he blurts out a string of unfiltered insults and criticisms that would normally get him fired. However, the boss thinks it's absolutely hilarious. He's like, Mr. Allen's like, I like people who straight talking, Fletcher. You're going to make it far in this firm. And then he goes around roasting every single person in the room.
Yeah, he's like, do Simmons. Simmons is old. Yeah, just leans into him, and he used the word irreverent.
Yes.
And I think that's a good phrase for it. Just kind of saying how it is, like not being worried about PC or polite, but just shooting straight from the hip. I get that. I could see that, and plus he delivered it in a hilarious way, and he was telling the truth.
Yes.
So it wasn't slander,
right?
Per se. So
and I think that's why everybody laughed at it, because it's like, yeah, you got me.
Oh, he is. Me. Yeah, that is the worst toupee of all time. Look at it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile, Audrey is finalizing a decision to accept Jerry's proposal and move to Boston. She tells Max that they'll be starting a new life, but Max is hesitant, holding out for hope that his father will change. At the courthouse, Fletcher meets with his client. She's relying on him to get her a massive financial settlement by arguing that the prenup agreement she signed should be invalidated. Fletcher tells her he might not be able to represent her effectively because he is unable to fabricate a plausible excuse. In court, things quickly go awry. Fletcher attempts his usual brand of slick, misleading argumentation, only to find himself incapable of lying to the judge, the jury, or even opposing counsel. So he's in trouble.
Yeah.
Fletcher's secretary, Greta, becomes one of the few people he can confide in. He tells her about his bizarre affliction and how it's affecting his personal and professional life. Greta, who has always disapproved of Fletcher's moral compromises, appreciates his newfound honesty, but when Fletcher is forced to admit how poorly he's treated her, Greta becomes emotional and tenders her resignation. Not out of spite, but because she feels it's time to move on. No, it's out of spite. It's to stick it to him. He's in a tender spot. He's working a big case. She's got the balls in her court, so to blend two sayings there. Yes. So Fletcher has to go visit Audrey, and on his way he's caught speeding by the police. Well, he's not caught speeding. He's the one of the best lines of the movies. Do you know why I pulled you over? Depends on how long you were following me. And then he tells on himself everything that he did, and when the officer goes, anything else? No, I have unpaid parking tickets. And he opens up his dash, and there's like 20 parking tickets just fall out of there.
Yeah.
He's like, please be gentle.
Yeah, it's very detailed, and he's in absolute horrific pain the entire time he's explaining it. You know.
Yeah, and then he goes to Audrey, and this is one of the sad parts of the movie. He goes to Audrey in a cab, and she's stomping off, and she's like, "Wait, hang on, where's your car?" And he's like, "Look, it's impounded. We need to go get it out, and we'll talk along the way." And they have a discussion off camera, and they come back to it. And as he's getting the car, she's saying, "Look, we're going to be leaving to go to Boston." And he goes, "You can't do this to me. And you know why? I'm a bad father."
Yep.
And it's like, whoa. And everything at that moment changes for Fletcher. Because of that realization that he's not a good father, he tries to change his life. He tries to make things better. So he picks up a birthday cake and heads to the school that Max is at, and proceeds to recreate the night before's birthday celebration. And he asks Max to please take back the wish, because otherwise he's going to lose him. And Max doesn't take back the wish. He wants his dad to tell the truth for one day. And Fletcher is devastated. Absolutely devastated.
Yeah, it puts him in quite a bind. Yeah, it's just because his normal rhythm would involve deception.
Yeah.
And he can't even twist the truth. He can't even white lie. He can't even say that a red pen is
blue.
Is blue. So I mean, or a blue pen is red, or whatever it was. So it's like, yeah, he's got to get creative. He's got to be able to pivot somehow, and his client's not really helping. Like, the evidence is mounting. It's getting worse with every second. So
Fletcher's antics in court escalate. He tries beating himself up, to which he almost gets a continuance to the next day until the judge asks him if he can carry on. Then he badgers his own witness to the point where the witness basically throws Samantha Cole under the bus.
All right, I hope the brains are.
Yeah. But
just the way he delivered that.
Yes. But he stumbles upon a loophole. The prenuptial agreement that was signed when she was legally underage. So despite her claims otherwise. This revelation makes the prenup null and void, and Samantha is awarded half of her husband's assets. Fletcher wins the case, but as he exits the courtroom, Samantha gloats that she never loved her husband and plans to take the kids out of him just out of spite.
Yeah, she got so riled up by Fletcher, man. Like, he really lit a fire under her for real. She was very timid and reasonable going in.
Yeah, she would have settled too for $2.4 million, but I would have settled for $2.4 million.
Put that right in savings, bro, and just live off the interest.
Yeah, I mean, especially seeing as that money is being paid for when she jumped into the arms of 7 men.
Driven into the arms of another man.
7.
Whatever.
That's one of my favorite lines too in the movie. It's so bad, so bad.
That whole scene has, like, the part where he's giving the speech about Tina Turner.
Yeah,
and, like, that. It's so funny. Like, just every bit. His vocalics. He does like a siren thing. Like, it's very like a song almost. It's really, really good.
I like the bit in the courtroom, which is so wrong. This line is so wrong, Your Honor. My client was a minor when she signed this form, and the fact that she'd been ridden more than Seattle Sleuth is irrelevant. It's like, damn.
You're pouring gas on it, man. You're making it worse. Like that, and that's the theme of this, is because he's so embedded into deception
that he doesn't know how
he does it. He can't he can't operate any other way. Like, he's stumbling all over himself trying to be an ethical lawyer.
Yes. So, with Samantha stepping out of the room, this enrages Fletcher, who's now become value truth and integrity more than ever. He launches into a furious tirade in the courtroom and tells the judge that Samantha is an unfit mother who doesn't deserve custody. His outburst gets him held in contempt of court and thrown in jail. That right there is a sad part of the movie, right?
Yeah.
When he goes, is custody agreed on? His lawyer says yes. Fletcher says yeah, and she says no. And so he turns to her to consult, and his defeated. Do we have a custody agreement? No. Speak up.
No.
Honorable. No, don't put that in there.
He's doing like the cut motion, like, to the stenographer. Yeah, because it's a good little nugget there.
So with Audrey, so while behind bars, Fletcher calls Audrey, and Audrey says she's going to Boston anyway. Fletcher begs her not to go, and just asks her to make bail, and they can talk about this. In the end, Greta is the one who bails him out. She heard from one of the other secretaries, called him and said that he went all noble in front of the judge and probably got fired, which he did get fired in the epilogue. So with help from Greta, as we just mentioned, she bails him out, and he runs immediately to the airport. At the airport, Audrey and Jerry are boarding the plane with Max. Fletcher has to get from one end of LAX to the gate. And how does he do it? Well, felony. That's how he does it.
Yeah, baggage claim.
He dives through the baggage carousel, gets in a bag, then ends up on the tarmac.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's like 5 felonies right there that would get you maybe 10 years apiece in prison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe it would have been a little bit lighter back then, but yeah, it still would have been a serious crime, a serious thing. Yeah.
So he steals a stair and chases after the plane. Now,
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. That's another one.
Yeah.
So he gets on this stair, right? And he pulls up to the plane that's taxiing. Now, the plane would probably be going about 80 or 90 miles an hour at this point. Maybe 100. And he's keeping up with it on the stairs with no engine.
He's got a Formula One engine hidden in it somewhere.
And he's behind the plane engines, which would have killed him. That would have blown the stairs over. So he would have been blown to smithereens. Anyway, it's funny. Audrey's on the plane. She's trying to open Peanuts up. She can't do it. She's getting really, really flustered. So she orders her a drink. And as she's drinking, old boy goes, you having a hard time? You don't want to come to Boston, really, do you? And she's like, no, it's not that. And he goes, oh, it's Fletcher. And she goes, no, it's got nothing to do with Fletcher. It's like, no, look out the window. It's Fletcher. And he's there. He made it. He said he was going to make it to his son that night. And he did.
Yep, he went to exhaustive lengths to try to correct his error. You know, I understand Audrey's reluctance, and Jerry is probably the most patient and understanding person to ever walk the earth.
Yes,
like that dude is so gentle and patient, and it's amazing. It's outstanding. Yeah. So he nailed the concerned but bad fit stepdad to a T.
Yes. So Fletcher decides to get the pilot's attention by throwing a shoe at the cockpit. Pilot stops the plane. Fletcher ends up crashing the wagon, the stairs into a wagon of bags, and then breaking both of his legs and getting arrested.
He got off light on the injury, honestly. He could have got head first and been a paraplegic or died, or. So, yeah.
But at this point, Audrey decides not to go to Boston and stay where she is for Max's sake, and for Fletcher's sake, Jerry decides to go anyway, and that's the end of their relationship, which is kind of sad,
Yeah, but it seemed like, yes, but I really feel like she was on a different level than him.
Yeah, they were compatible.
And he was like ready to settle down. Obviously, I mean, he proposed to her, but she was so caught off guard about it. You could tell that he was still in the boyfriend area, like a date you, have fun with you area. And he was like, let's start a family area. So that was an incompatibility, one, but two, they didn't seem to vibe very much. I didn't see that chemistry. So
I think that was intentional, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was shoehorned in. I mean, a rebound, if you will. It's common. People test the waters a little bit after they've been in the same lake for so long.
So a year later, on Max's birthday, we see Fletcher and Audrey at Max's house. At the house, the family celebrate Max's birthday together. Max blows out the candle. The lights come back on, and Audrey and Fletcher are reconciling. Yep. So they implying that they're back together as a couple. And they say, well, hang on a minute, Max, did you wish for this again? And he's like, no, I wish for rollerblades.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah. And that is how we end the movie, with one of the funniest parts of the movie where Jim Clary gets out the claw.
Yep. Ended on a high note. Yeah. So, heartfelt family moment at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's look at some of the themes of the movie real quick before we go into our opinion and behind the scenes and everything like that. It's basically honesty versus deception, completely. Fletcher is a
Yeah.
liar, and being forced to tell the truth, he sees all the harm that he's caused to everybody in his life.
And being forced, yeah. Being forced is the caveat there. I almost added it, but yeah, I mean that's huge because he not only had to tell the truth, but he was compelled to tell the truth.
Yes.
He had to, so that really put him yeah, in a bind big time.
Yeah. So, I mean, fatherhood and responsibility is another one. I mean, Fletcher's always let him Max down, whereas, Jerry wasn't.
No,
He
he
was
was
always there
there.
for him. And I've been in that position, and that's a hard position to be in.
Yeah, I've been on the other end of that, and to have someone to put that much effort into it would be very, very special. I was in a mixed a mixed family eventually, like, so I had like a half brother,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So he treated him a lot differently than me because he was his own,
Yeah.
whereas Jerry was like all in, like it
Yeah.
was his own kid. So
He was supposed to take him to the wrestling, ended up working all night in his office. Max's wish is just not about honesty, but about getting a father that he can trust in the only way that a kindergartner could possibly understand.
yeah,
You're lying to everybody. Stop lying, and we're good.
yeah, exactly. Just you've learned that you can be truthful. Now apply that to your family at
Yes.
minimum.
Right.
So
I mean, Fletcher is career focused. He really, really is. I mean, it cost him his marriage and his family, and when his false honesty shows how far his lies have gone, I mean, even in the final scene, him trying to stop his family from moving, he's lucky not to be hauled off.
yeah, I mean he's lucky if he still has a job at this point. I mean a lawyer might be blacklisted really easily in real life for getting that many felonies in one whack. So
Well, he said he was going to start his own firm, so maybe
it didn't matter.
it didn't matter that he was blacklisted because when you're blacklisted, you just do your own thing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if no one will hire you, if you got capital, you can do your own thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, let's talk about work life balance and priorities. Let's get it out the way. Fletcher is a world class lawyer. I mean, he is a dang good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And he dedicates every single moment to his career, and it pays off with him being offered a partnership in the firm. But Fletcher declines due to the lengths he went to and the outcome of the case he was working on. And as such, his family life, despite being a responsible boss and a citizen, suffered because of it. Losing Greta due to his lies, he lost his car due to his tickets, and he almost lost his family.
Yeah, yeah, big time. And he almost lost it and got replaced too. So it's like a double jab. It's like he almost So.
But it does show some growth. There's some growth and redemption in this. Fletcher is a bit of a jerk and he's a lying SOB, but he does have a redemption arc. He leaves his firm, or was fired, that bit's left ambiguous, and he tries to be a better husband and father and boss. At the end of the movie, he reunites with his family after a year if the main plot continues. He's also able to forgive himself and tone down the lies significantly to be trusted again.
Yeah, just keep, having it where it counts. I mean, if you could just not lie to your child, that'd be a great place to start. So.
Yeah. But we say that as parents, we don't lie to your child. But then again, I mean, we're coming up to Christmas time of year. Yeah. And we've all told a lie to our children around about Christmas time.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a gray area sometimes. A little white lie to protect innocence or to keep someone safe. The means, the end justify the means. So
let's look at a few things behind the scenes real quick before we wrap this up. In addition to playing Fletcher, Carey made a cameo with Fire Marshal Bill, the character from his In Living Color days, briefly appearing at the end of the film.
Yeah, it's very subtle, very quick, but hilarious if you catch it.
Yes. The scene where Fletcher beats himself in the courthouse, Jim Carrey actually performed the stunts himself without sound effects. The sounds he had genuinely Carrey hitting his head on the floor, walls, and the urinals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. If he's making $20 million, I guess for $20 million, I could do that too.
So, Tom Shadyac noted that Carey would first perform the scenes as scripted and then improvise to enhance the humour. This approach required the crew to be ready to capture spontaneous moments, leading to multiple takes to harness Carey's comedy genius. They had the reel of outtakes at the end of the movie, to show his improvisation skills.
Yeah, and they got him back. They improvised a line where she calls him the defense attorney. Yeah, calls him an overactor, and he breaks, which is rare. I'm glad that they added that, and during the credits, I thought that was a really good move.
Yeah. Before filming began, Carey told the cast he intended to play Fletcher Reed in the understated style of classic actor Gary Cooper. However, he quickly reverted to his signature high-energy performance, much to the amusement of his co-stars. So he basically couldn't help himself, you know?
Yeah. It's what he does. He does it well, so why not go with what you know, if it works,
Actress Jennifer Tilly, who played Samantha Cole, expressed that working with Carey was like attending a masterclass in physical comedy, highlighting his dedication and improvisational skills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jennifer Tilly's really good, but doesn't have the versatility.
No.
She kind of plays herself a little. She's a bit of a stifler, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for anyone, I think it would be awe-inspiring. Sure.
And this I didn't know. $31 million in his first weekend was setting a record for the largest March opening at the time, which solidified Jim Carrey's career.
Yeah, it was big. Everyone, when it came out, I was like, I think 14. Yeah, I mean, me and all of my friends went and saw it in the theater. Like, I think I watched it 2 or 3 times in the theater. It was that good.
Yeah. So
And
I
bought
think...
it on VHS.
Right. I think this is a 9 out of 10 movie. What do you think?
Yeah, I get it like a 8.5 or a 9. It's just amazing. It's fun to watch even to this day. It holds up. Jim's amazing. The rest of the cast really moves it along. It's real good.
Yeah, I mean, the courtroom scene is some of the funniest work Jim Carrey did, and I think because it was locked in one location, because the rest of his movies, he'd been, he's not in the same location twice in a lot of these movies that he did, but in this one, he's in the courthouse or his office. It's only like 3 or 4 places, and he plays it perfectly.
Yeah, it's great.
Cary Elwes, great choice to play the safe, awkward dork. He played it perfectly.
A bit Magoo. Yeah, so yeah, perfect choice. He's just like another Swiss Army knife actor. You just pop him in there and let him rip. He'll nail it.
There are a couple of things that though I don't like. Like with his pen, you mentioned the pen is blue. That just seemed a little forced. It just there for Jim Carrey to be Jim Carrey.
They probably could have cut it and it would have been fine.
Yeah, although I do like the redemption arc and the fact that the redemption arc starts a year later rather than immediately. She doesn't ditch. She already didn't ditch Jerry and go straight to Fletcher and start hugging him and everything like that. It took a year of getting his stuff together before she trusted him again.
His legs had healed, so it showed that there had been healing in multiple ways. Yeah, and just shuffling back and forth like that. But yeah, I think that was a beautiful way to end it.
Yeah. So the legacy of this movie for Jim Carrey was Lyle showed that he had more range than people expected. He had his most serious acting in a movie in this movie up to that point. It solidified him as a heavyweight after a couple of years of disappointment, like Batman Forever and The Cable Guy.
Yeah,
The Cable Guy was all right. Batman Forever was funny in places, but I mean, they weren't great movies.
It wasn't because of his performance. There was other factors there. He didn't drag down the movie, but the movie itself, underperformed.
Yeah,
I think is the best word.
And this was the last, really, of the classic Jim Carrey rubber-faced, goofy movies that he did. Because you had The Mask, you had Dumb and Dumber, you had Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura 1 and 2.
Ace Ventura 1 and 2. And then you had Liar Liar.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think Me, Myself, and Irene was a little... I haven't seen that movie, believe it or not. I had no interest in seeing it. I didn't
think it was that great. I give it 5.
But his later comedies were toned down unless the character itself was over the top. So, like, Lemony Snicket when he played Count Olaf or the Grinch, they were over the top characters to begin with.
The Mask, stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, but films like Bruce Almighty and Fun of Dick and Jane were not as over the top as The Mask,
No, I didn't need it. That'd have been overkill, too much.
But he did branch off as a serious actor as well. We mentioned Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Such a great movie.
Yes,
yeah, man. He totally, just totally got absorbed with that movie the first time I saw it. It's very, very good.
And see, when I first watched it, the only reason I wanted to watch it was because I heard that Elijah Wood was in it. And that's like, oh, cool. Let's see what he did after Lord of the Rings. And then Jim Carrey's on my screen. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's Oh, that's Kate Winslet. What the? Okay,
Yeah.
this could be interesting.
Let's take this for a ride, see where
Yeah.
it goes, and then you're just me. I was like halfway through, I was totally mesmerized, fully invested. So yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so that is it for Liar. Greg, man, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I know you're super busy these next couple of days, so I appreciate you
Yeah,
taking the
man.
time.
Sure, dude.
I've got a few things that I've got to say before we get out, and I'm not sure when this is coming out, but it's coming out soon. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'll be back here in a couple of minutes with what's going on this week on our YouTube channel and everything else that's going on. So, Greg, thank you.
You got it, man. Mahalo.
A sincere thank you to Gregory for taking the time out of his day to come and spend time with us. I really appreciate it. I know that he is very, very busy, and he leads a very, very busy life, what with work and family commitments and the music that he plays and performs. So I appreciate any time that he comes and spends with us. We go through a lot of effort to get together, and I'm sure that you want to show him some love. This week, we talked about our male patron saint of the podcast, Jim Carrey. Next week, I'm joined by Sarah as we talk about our female patron saint of the podcast. We dive in to another whole album. And this time, we're talking about the album Divided Fans, but was a cathartic release for Courtney Love and the rest of the band. There's a little bit of chaos in there, too. Yes, we are talking about 1998's Celebrity Skin. Sarah loves that album. I thought it was a really, really good album. And it'll be nice to go through it, as this is basically her first musical outlet since Kurt Cobain died. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of things. And the album is one of those albums where the mood doesn't match the lyrics. So it's a very, very pop rock heavy album, but with very, very, very dark and satirical and cut-in lyrics. So it's a very, very good album. And I've got some controversial things to say about it. You'll have to tune in next week, though, to listen to that. Enjoy. Also, next week in our YouTube channel, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, another ES5 Gaming, our Skyrim playthrough continues, as we learn a dark secret about our companion Shield brothers and sisters. We exploit, yes, we use an exploit to get 1,000 pounds of Dwemer scrap metal by using Lydia, and then we get stuck in a hive of Falmer, twisted goblin-like creatures who do nothing but want to destroy human races. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out our YouTube channel. That's where you find us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. sharp. That's where we drop new episodes, okay? So it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 episodes a week. Yes. And we were going to do this. We're going to announce our Thanksgiving live stream. So this year it's taking place on Sunday after Thanksgiving. We have some stuff going on that Thanksgiving weekend, and unfortunately Sunday is the best day I can do it. And this year we are playing, drumroll please, a 90s game, a football game, and we are playing Championship Manager 94 Spreadsheet Edition EOS. Yes, we're going to be playing the game that took place between 1994 and 1995. Yes, if you want to go back in history and look, the winners of that season were Blackburn Rovers, but I will be playing as Arsenal FC, who finished 12th that season, 6 points off relegation after a season of internal strife and external mediocrity. Yes, that will be taking place Sunday, November 30th on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/adeadstreamer, and the full recording will be archived on our YouTube channel after the recording. And that is it for this episode. Yes, so a lot of things going on next week, a lot of things coming up this month. So, are you up for it? If you are, go check out YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. That's where you find our podcast. Check out Facebook and Instagram for the latest news and what have yous. And our website might not be up to date, but we're actually going to fix that over the next couple of weeks. Actually, I've got a little time off work over the Thanksgiving break, so I might go ahead and handle it then. But we're aiming for a December update with everything. That's becausemaybepodcast.com. And everybody, I want to thank you very much for listening. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us. We appreciate it. Thanksgiving's coming up in America. If you have Thanksgiving coming up, yes, we have Thanksgiving coming up, and we're hosting this year. So It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. But until then, I want you all to take it easy, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye.